Hi everybody, welcome to the Lexus Virtual Classroom here at Northside and Westside Lexus in Houston, Texas. Today we're taking a look at the 2021 Lexus NX. Keep in mind that there aren't major changes between 2020 and 2021 for this vehicle, but there are some packaging changes. In fact, there's some amazing features that used to be optional that are now standard equipment, like the auto-dimming, auto-folding side mirrors. They even have a tilt and reverse function that's programmable, so make sure to check that out in the tutorial. Blind spot monitor and rear cross traffic alert are also now standard equipment on the NX. It's really exciting. A change in operation for the high beams is something that you're going to want to take a look at, and I'll show you that in just a moment. If you're new to the Lexus Virtual Classroom, make sure to take a look at the description below for an index for this video. So you can watch start to finish if you'd like, but if you want to review certain features, you can just jump through by clicking on the timestamp for that particular item. And then you can review it as many times as you need to. You can also leave a comment below if you have any questions, and I'll be happy to get back to you with an answer. So come on, let's learn together. Since there aren't any major changes for this model year, you're going to see 2020 and 2021 vehicles featured in this tutorial. All Lexus vehicles come equipped with a smart access system. So that's your smart key. You can lock, unlock, and push and hold to access a trunk or a rear cargo area. You also have a panic or alarm button. If you're still locating your vehicle in a parking lot with the alarm button, definitely switch over to the Lexus app. The Lexus app has had a lot of updates recently. In fact, the Lexus Enform remote feature is now inside of the Lexus app. The Lexus Enform App Suite 2.0 also now inside the Lexus app. So it's incredibly convenient to have all of your Lexus services right at your fingertips on your smartphone. If you are getting a new Lexus vehicle, you'll have a trial period for Lexus Enform Remote, and that comes with the ability to locate your vehicle in its last parking place. The NX comes with a complimentary trial period for all Enform services. To unlock any door on the NX, just put your hand in the door handle, and as long as you have your smart key on you, the door is going to unlock. If you're unlocking the driver's door by putting your hand in the door handle, it's set up by default to only open the driver's door. That is customizable, and I'll show you how to change that in the settings. To lock your NX, simply touch the indentation on the front of the door handle. Lock. Auto mirrors folding in and unlock. An indication at the back of the mirror will flash and your mirrors will open up. So you'll notice that the NX has the smart access system locking capability on all four doors. The fuel door is push to release. However, it's not linked to the smart access system. So if you push to release and it doesn't come open, go ahead and unlock the car at the rear passenger door handle. Then you can push to release the fuel door, and if you're driving by yourself, it's always a good idea to relock your Lexus. Now, while we have the fuel door open, make sure to note what kind of fuel is recommended for your vehicle. Now, the NX has a turbocharged engine, and it is premium only. So just make sure that you're using the correct fuel for your Lexus to get the best performance that you possibly can. Always important to note that on different style vehicles, for example, with the F-Sport version of an NX, the front grille looks quite a bit different. It has a unique design. That's that three-dimensional design. And they really integrate the parking sensors nicely into each corner. And right into the grille. So you have all of the functionality of your parking sensors, but you don't lose any of the style. Rear parking sensors are color keyed so that they match and they integrate right into the rear bumper. The rear door on the NX can be opened by pushing and holding the button on the smart key or by using the touchpad located just underneath the logo. If you're using the touchpad, make sure that you know that the large portion is unlocked and the small portion is for lock. And it will lock or unlock the entire NX. Now, if you want to use the kick sensor, all you have to do is keep your key right in your pocket or your purse, just kick and step back. Aim right in the middle of the two center parking sensors. A neat tip, you can kick to pause and kick to close. You have some additional controls for locking and closing the back door of the NX. You can push the button on the left to close, or the button with the lock symbol to close and lock the Lexus. When you use the lock feature, you'll be able to hear a lower tone indicating that your system is going to automatically lock your NX for you. When you open the rear door, if you have the cording attached, it's going to open up the tonneau cover or privacy shade for you. I want to make sure that you know how to detach and store the tonneau cover. To remove the tonneau cover, simply release the anchors that are right at the top. They have a small loop that holds onto a post. You can take the cord and lay it inside. Fold it forward, lift up, and push away. Then you can lift out the tonneau cover and remove it. Make sure to notice that there are posts on either side of the tonneau cover. That's the support for the back of the piece. This is also how you can lock it into place. So let me show you how to do that. Simply put the tonneau cover back in, lift up so you can see where the posts are located. While it's still folded in half, pull to you firmly. If you feel like it didn't catch, go ahead, reach in and pull from the back and the front at the same time until you hear a click. Now it's secure. Restore the cording and you're good to go. Now to store it, you can store it just underneath in the cargo storage area. There's a spot made just the right size, but you want to make sure that when you take it out, you put it back in the exact same way. I'm just going to set that aside, fold the carpet, lift up the base cover, and then remove. There's a small hook on a cord, and make sure that when you hook this onto the top, that you're hooking onto a firm, hard metal section as opposed to the door seal. We want to make sure that stays in good condition, and then just gently let this piece down, and now, voila, hands-free. And then it holds that in place. We'll take our tonneau cover, back piece in first, and it nests right inside. This is also a great way if you need to get your spare tire out or your tools. It just gives you hands-free access, nice and simple. Lift up, release the hook, grab the cord, and pop your hook back into place. Make sure to hold on to your front license plate bracket. If you lift up on the noise dampening styrofoam, you can easily remove and have access to the spare tire. If you lift up and look on the left-hand side, You'll have the jack and all of the tools required to change a tire, including your wheel lock key. It has its own storage spot right inside. To locate the wheel lock, look for the lug nut with the wave pattern. Your wheel lock key will fit right inside. When you're ready to put all of the components back, confirm that the jack is securely clamped into place and that you return the styrofoam piece that helps to keep things quiet in the truck. You also have a 12-volt power outlet, cargo lights that turn on and off when the door is open or closed, a first aid kit, and D-ring anchors for cargo netting, as well as hooks and lower D-ring anchors for a cargo netted pouch. Take note of the tether points on the left and right second row seat backs for car seats. The latch system is in place on the left and right seats. Just reach under to feel for the connector point for your car seat. Make sure to follow the instructions for your specific car seat's installation. Although the center seat does not have latch anchor points, it does have a central tether mounted at the ceiling. Also located on the ceiling is the seat belt for the center passenger. Now let's take a look at how that works. It's stored really neatly, and it's a great thing to know about how to do, because if you undo it, it's awfully nice to put it back in the same way. There are two connector points for the center seat belt. This small piece becomes the lap connection point. Then you have the shoulder belt connection point. So once you have restored the entire belt into the housing, you clip the large piece into place, tuck the tag out of the way, and while you're holding that large piece with a finger, find the spot to tuck in the small clip. And then it will stay nice and snug and quiet. Now let me show you how to connect the seatbelt. So you'll remove the small clip and the large clip. Then you can go ahead and pull the seatbelt down. So let me show you as if I were the center passenger. So the first step is to make sure that you know there are two anchor points for a center seat passenger. Locate the center seat seatbelt up at the top. Then find your hip point. We're going to connect that first. Make sure there's nobody sitting on your left-hand side, because that's where it goes. Get a grip on the connector point and plug it in. You want to make sure you hear a click. Then you'll bring the shoulder point up and across. Now this connector point is going to be under your bum. It's a very common mistake to accidentally plug it in to the right seatbelt connector. You want to plug it into the seatbelt that says center. Ready to go. Just press to release the shoulder strap, and then use the clip from the shoulder strap to release the seatbelt. Slide it up so that you have some slack. And then you'll see a red release point. Simply push and the lower connector will come away. And now you can restore everything to the ceiling storage point. And if you frequently have center seat passengers, you can go ahead and leave that third belt in place. To fold the second row seat down, simply lift the lever. You can also use the lever to recline. To access the full cargo area, fold both rear seats flat. Rear cabin passengers have an easy access, comfortable armrest, 2 cup holders in the center, and a bottle or clothes container holder in each rear door. Once you're inside the vehicle, it's always a good first step to go ahead and adjust your seat position for your safe driving position so that you can save it to driver position memory if your NX is equipped with driver position memory. So you'll make your seat adjustments forward, back, raise the hip point or lower. You can also raise and lower the front portion of the seat cushion. Tilt or recline, depending on where you like your back to be placed while you're driving. Notice that the lumbar support button is not enclosed in this recessed housing. That's because the lumbar support is something that's independently adjusted. It's not synced to the driver position memory. The steering wheel adjustment is on the left-hand side. The vehicle must be turned on or into accessory mode for the steering wheel to be adjusted. Accessory mode is accomplished by pushing the engine start-stop button without applying the brake. If we give 2 pushes, we'll have accessory mode, and the engine will not be on, and the air conditioning compressor will not be on. Your fan will be on, however, if you've turned on your climate control system. Now we can adjust the steering wheel up, down, away, or toward you. Whatever makes you most comfortable while you're driving. The next step is to adjust your mirrors. Toggle left, use the touchpad, and then do the same on the right-hand side. For 2021, your auto-dimming, auto-folding, programmable tilt and reverse side mirrors are standard equipment. Woo, they sure can do a lot. Let's talk about each component. Auto dimming is going to prevent glare with oncoming light when you're driving at night. Auto folding means the mirrors will fold in when you lock your vehicle with the Smart Access system. And they'll open up when you unlock. To allow your mirrors to automatically fold in when you lock your Lexus with the Smart Access system, make sure that the top toggle is in the neutral position so that the word auto is selected. If you push down on the right, the mirrors will fold in. You can toggle all the way to the left to leave your mirrors open all the time. That means when you do lock with Smart Access, they're still going to stay open. So if you notice that your mirrors are staying open all the time, just come back out to this toggle, do a soft click so that it's in the neutral position and auto is selected. So a great tip to remember is if you do press the button to fold your mirrors in, maybe you've gone through a drive-through or something, you just need a little extra clearance. Instead of pushing all the way down to the left, just do a soft click so that it's in the neutral position. That will open your mirrors and turn on auto simultaneously. To program the angle of tilt while the vehicle is in reverse, apply the brake, shift into reverse, and keep the brake applied. Make your adjustments by selecting L for left and using the touchpad, and then R for right and using the touchpad. Shift back to park and your adjustments have been saved. Toggling either left or right will allow the mirrors to tilt in reverse. Keeping the toggle in neutral will keep the mirrors from tilting. Once you have your seat, steering wheel, and side mirrors saved in your driving position, go ahead and push set, let it go, and your driver position memory number. You have 3 potential memory settings. If you make a change to your seat, steering wheel, or side mirrors, and you prefer the new position, just press set and then your number, and those new positions are saved. If you need to recall your position because someone else has driven your vehicle, just push your number and it will recall. Other controls in the driver's door: locking your windows so that passengers cannot operate your windows, but the driver can. Lock the vehicle, unlock the vehicle, power open or close for your windows. On the left-hand side of your dash, you have controls for the brightness for the instrument panel. This picture is a gauge with a light bulb. That just means if you push the up arrow, you'll make your gauge brighter, and if you push the down arrow, you will make it less bright. You also have your odometer and trip meter button. It toggles you through trip A, trip B. It lets you know how many miles until your next oil change, and goes back to your odometer. To clear a trip A or trip B, simply push and hold. Looking at the buttons on the left-hand side of the dash, keep in mind there are a variety of packages available for the NX. If the panel of buttons on the left side of your dash looks a little bit different than what you're seeing here, not to worry. Just make sure to get familiar with the features that are available on your Lexus. For 2021, the operation of the automatic high beams has been simplified. All you have to do is push the button that says Auto in the top bank of buttons on the left-hand side of your dash. Now, as long as your low beams are set to auto and your high beam button is pushed in, you'll have automatic low beams and high beams in your NX. You no longer have to push the headlamp stalk forward to engage high beams in auto mode. Pushing the headlamp stalk forward will now engage the high beams manually. You can also engage high beams by pulling the stalk toward you to just give a quick flash of the high beams. Blind spot monitor and rear cross traffic alert. You want to make sure that's turned on. You'll have an indicator with a green light on your button, and you'll hear a tone. You'll also get an indication in the side mirror, lighting up your blind spot monitor icon. The indicator will also light and beep for rear cross traffic alert. If you're backing up and someone is crossing at the rear of the vehicle, you'll have an audible and visual indication. Power back door operation. If you push this and the door doesn't open, it means it's locked. Go ahead and unlock the doors in the driver's door handle. Heated steering wheel, and your view button for the 360 monitor system. The 360 monitor is operated by a push of the button. It can also be activated in an automatic mode. When you're in park and you push the view button, you get a bird's eye view, a 360-degree sweep around the vehicle. Now it looks like the camera is mounted above the car, but it's actually not. You have 4 cameras, one at the front of the Lexus, one at the rear, which is your backup camera, and then one under each side mirror. You'll notice some buttons on the bottom left corner of the screen. This is another view from inside the vehicle. So if you need to take a look around your vehicle before you pull out of a parking place, you can use either view. If you wanted to play it again, click on the play button. To go back to the bird's eye mode, simply click. On the top left corner, you have a settings screen. This allows you to change the color of the vehicle that's pictured on the screen. I happen to be in a white NX, so the white is selected for the exterior color. To change the color to match your vehicle, click on the settings on the top left corner, and then simply use the touchpad to cycle through the different color options. Pick whichever one you prefer. To change, simply select again. You have a different view for the 360 camera system when the vehicle is in reverse or drive. Reverse is going to engage our rear view camera on the large left side of the screen and the 360 camera on the right side of the screen. You can even highlight a section and click to zoom in. Click again to zoom out. Now you can only zoom in and out on the right-hand side, the 360 view side. But this could be handy if there's a bicycle left out in that driveway. You'll notice that the backup camera lines do have dynamic yellow grid lines showing your indicated path as you're turning the wheel, and that shows on both the left and right screens. If we shift into drive and push our view monitor, you'll see the 360 view on the right and the front-facing front wide view monitor. We can also select auto. This will allow the camera system to turn on when you slow down in traffic or in parking situation. Now you'll notice at the moment, my yellow turn angle dynamic lines have gone away. That's a setting. They're not really gone forever. Just click to turn them back on. You'll see them on that right side, the 360 side. Nice and simple. Before we move any deeper into the computer system on board the vehicle, let's step back a moment and take a look at all of the controls on and around the steering wheel. Headlamps are controlled on the left-hand side. Turn the selector all the way to the bottom to turn everything off, including daytime running lights. Auto to allow the headlamps to come on and off for you as it starts to get dark. Your daytime running lights are like a parking light. And then your low beam headlamps on. Now, if you manually turn your low beam headlights on, you do need to turn them to auto or off when you turn off and exit your vehicle. This is your fog light control. Simply twist up to turn your fog light on or down to turn it off. If you leave it in the on position and you have your headlamps in auto, your fog light will come on when your low beam headlights come on. The NX has a customizable lane change feature. The default is 3 flashes for a left or right hand turn. The windshield wiper controls are on the right-hand side of the vehicle. If you have automatic or rain-sensing wipers, you will have the word auto. If you have intermittent wipers, it will say INT. Either way, the setup is the same. The functionality will be slightly different, and I'll explain both. The stock position tells you what function you're in. If we push to the top, one click up for mist, and it returns to the off position. Down for intermittent, and adjust the speed on the dial. If your wipers say auto, you'll be adjusting the sensitivity of the auto wipers with the dial. Come down again for low and down again for high. The rear wiper will be on, intermittent, or off. To select for the rear, just twist the dial all the way to the top for on, to the center for intermittent, and then off at the bottom. You'll notice you can clean the front and rear windshield. Just pull to you to clean the front window and push away to clean the rear. The NX has paddle shifters for a sport mode, shifting up on the right and down on the left. Sequential shifting is a lot of fun in this turbocharged NX F Sport. To use the paddle shifters, simply change from being in drive, push the gear shift to the left, and now you're in manual mode, which is a sequential shifting mode. You can tap up or down on the gearbox if you want to change gears with your gear shift. Anytime you want to go back to the automatic drive, just shift to the right. You'll see the light under D for drive. You'll also have an indication on your instrument panel. Shifting to M for manual or sport mode, tapping up or down as you're driving, it will change and show what gear you're in. Moving from left to right, notice the plus or minus. This is your volume control for your radio and telephone calls. The up and down arrows on the left-hand side of the steering wheel move you through your radio presets. No matter what source you've saved, it will automatically jump to that selection. Your mode button will toggle you through AM, FM, satellite, any audio source. And if you push and hold the mode button, you can pause or mute your audio. Push and hold again to resume. Answer a call, hang up, or ignore a call and allow it to go to voicemail. This is the talk button for the onboard voice command system. When you're using the onboard system, just push and release, wait for the beep, and give your command. The top section of buttons on the right side of the steering wheel operates the multi-information display on your instrument panel. Moving to the right from the main information menu, we have a compass, then music, lane keeping monitor, messages about service, and settings. Let's take a closer look at our information screen. The first few items in the screen are about fuel economy. Arrowing down to the second screen includes range. Down again, additional fuel economy information. Down again to an eco indicator. You also have another eco indicator that pops up and says eco right on your screen. It's kind of an atta-girl or atta-boy, you're driving in a fuel-efficient way. A turbo monitor and a G-force monitor. A very popular digital speedometer. Our tire pressure monitor will synchronize after a few minutes of driving. And a blank screen if that's your preference. Click down again to cycle back to the top. Now the first three screens that are about fuel economy are customizable. If we arrow and shortcut to the left, we go to our settings and we can scroll down to meter settings. Push the dot, which is located in the center of all four arrows, to make your selection. Now, arrow down to drive info 1, 2, or 3, and you can customize what information you would like to see. Let's push the dot in the middle of our arrows to select drive info 1, and let's change the information on that first fuel economy screen. So let's say, for example, that we do not want to see the bar type of fuel economy. We'll push the dot to select the item we want to change, and we'll arrow down until we find an item that we prefer. Most people prefer the range. How many miles are left on that tank of gas? Then you can decide, arrowing down, do you want to have average fuel economy after reset? That would be the fuel economy for the life of the car, unless you've zeroed it out. We could say, sure, and leave it, or push the dot and make a different selection. Another very popular item is average fuel economy after refuel. How many miles are you getting on this tank of gas? Push the dot to make our selection. Now we're going to push the go back button. And that's going to move us out of the meter settings menu by pushing again. Now we want to arrow to the right to go back to our information screen. And there's our new page, our drive information of range and fuel economy average after refuel. Arrowing to that second screen, we note that range is on the second screen and we don't need it there. We already have it. So arrow to the left, go to meter settings, arrow down to drive info 2, and make your changes. So you can select whatever items work best for you. Now you could have average fuel economy after reset for the life of the car. And another really popular item, elapsed time after start. How long has your engine been running? So let's check it out. We're going to push our go back button. Go back again. Arrow to the right. And we have our newly customized screen. Drive info 1, drive info 2. And then you could do the same thing for drive info 3 if that's what you prefer. Let's take a closer look at the customizable settings. Arrowing to the left, this is where we were in our meter settings. Arrowing up to vehicle settings. This is where you can turn on and off your power back door. You can also adjust the volume or turn off or on the kick sensor. Push your go back button. Tire pressure monitor, scheduled maintenance, oil maintenance, all of these other items would be adjusted by a technician when you come in for service. Pushing go back again, you can change the clock on your display from a 12-hour clock to a 24-hour clock. This is only changing your multi-information digital clock. Arrowing up to RSA, which stands for Road Sign Assist. That's the system that allows the camera to look ahead for speed limit signs, as well as other signs like stop signs, yield signs, and right-of-way. You can have a notification if you've exceeded the speed limit that the camera is detecting. You can either turn the notification off, have a visual notification, or visual and audible. Once you've made your selection, push the go back button. You can also customize your notification level. Do you want the system to notify you at 1 mile over the speed limit, 3 miles, or 5 miles over the speed limit? Once you've opened the Others setting for other signs, you'll notice you can make those same adjustments as well. No notification, visual only, or visual and audible. Push go back to exit the Road Sign Assist menu. Anytime you have a slide bar indicator, it means there are more items to display. So let's arrow up and keep going. This symbol represents an auto braking feature, and it's linked to your parking sensors and your rear cross traffic alert. It's called Parking Support Brake, and they spell it out right here for you. This allows you to turn it on or off. I highly recommend leaving the parking support brake on because when you do get an indication from your parking sensors for stationary objects moving forward or rear crossing traffic, if you're slowing down but not applying the brakes, it will apply the brakes for you. PKSA, we're going to push the dot to select. These are your parking sensors. They stand for Parking Support Alert. So the sensors give you the alert, and the parking support brake applies additional braking back to parking support alert. You can turn your parking sensors on or off and adjust the volume. Push go back. Pre-collision system. Your pre-collision system can be turned on or off, and you can adjust the sensitivity. We highly recommend that you leave the pre-collision system turned on for your safety. Pressing the go back button, and we are at Lane Trace Assist. The Lane Trace Assist system monitors the lanes on the highway, and if you're in heavy traffic, if you're using the dynamic radar cruise control, you can also take advantage of lane centering, steering assist, and the tracing feature for Lane Trace Assist that allows your NX to trace off of a vehicle that's in front of you if the traffic is too heavy to see lane markers. Now keep in mind, lane centering and the trace portion of Lane Trace Assist are only engaged when you have dynamic radar cruise control turned on. You can customize any of your settings, including your type of alert. Do you want an audible alert or a vibration of the steering wheel? You can even change the sensitivity. Scrolling down, we can customize the sway warning. If the Lane Trace Assist or Lane Keep Assist has given you multiple corrections in a row and the vehicle feels like you are not responding, it's going to assume that you're a fatigued driver, and you are going to get a pop-up that looks like a coffee cup, and the system's going to tell you to take a rest. So you can turn that feature off or on and adjust the sensitivity. The sway warning typically engages for people if they are not in a good practice of using their blinker. If you're using your blinker, you override the Lane Trace Assist feature because it knows that you want to leave the lane. And that wraps up our multi-information display. Turn on and off your Lane Trace Assist here. You'll have an indicator letting you know that it's on and steering assist is active as long as you have that customized setting turned on. Your following distance for radar cruise control is at the bottom right. Once you've turned on your cruise control, so just push in to turn on and off, follow the arrows, push down to set or lower your speed, and up to increase your speed or resume after canceling. To cancel, push 2U or tap on the brake. When the radar is on, you'll have an indication here. You'll see a picture of a vehicle as well as an arrow representing following distance and speed setting. Remember that you're going to push down to set your speed, and you're going to click through with the button to set your following distance. This is like a buffer zone between you and the vehicle in front of you. Long range, mid-range, and close range. Whatever is your preference. Just toggling through by clicking the button. If you prefer traditional cruise control instead of radar cruise control, when you turn the system on, push and hold instead of pushing and releasing. You'll see the symbol change from radar to traditional cruise. We're only seeing the speed setting indicator. Moving up from the steering wheel, you'll find the buttons for HomeLink to pair garage door or gate operation right on your rearview mirror. You also have the capability of turning on and off the auto dimming feature. That's an anti-glare feature on your mirror. Depending on the type of garage door or gate operator, you might see the down and up arrows light when your gate or garage door are in operation. If these don't light up, don't worry, it just means it's a different type of system that you have. The dome lights are touch, nice and simple. Open and close for the moonroof, up and down to tilt the back of the moonroof. Your door mode for your dome lights, we want to make sure that this is pushed in flush so that the lights will come on automatically when you open a door. Your Safety Connect or SOS button. Your NX comes with a complimentary trial period for Safety Connect. Make sure that you go to the Lexus app to enroll and activate. Moving down our center console, you have all of your buttons for the climate control system. Adjust your temperature up or down for the driver, or separately for the passenger, which will engage the dual mode because you have two separate temperatures. If you want the temperatures to sync to a single temperature, just turn dual off. You can adjust the airflow mode, so where the air is coming. So face and feet, just your feet, feet and defrost, face only. Fan speed, up for more, down for less, nice and simple. Or put it in auto, even more simple. If you turn auto on, the fan will automatically adjust for you depending on the outside temperature and the temperature that you've selected inside the cabin. You notice that fan speed increasing as the temperature has lowered. Turn everything off. Front defrost, rear and side mirror defrost, recirculating air, AC compressor, and back to that dual button. We have heated and ventilated seats available on the NX. Just give a push. You have 3 different settings for heat and fan. The fan is going to move air-conditioned air through the seats. So if you have warm air selected, you'll feel air flowing through the seats, but it might not feel as cool. So keep that in mind. Your passenger seat adjustments for heat and fan work in the exact same way. Hazard lights right in the center. Tuner dial, power, and volume control. Storage cubby, CD player, eject, play, and pause. You can also move through tracks or seek on the radio shortcut, and other audio shortcut. So they refer to this as media. This is going to be things like Bluetooth audio, plugging in an iPod, things like that. But if you push the radio button, you'll see your audio system turn on. Give a second push to get something playing. Push again, and it works like a mode button. Just push and release, and it will cycle you through all of your different radio options. AM, FM, satellite. Let's take a closer look at your radio settings. Using your touchpad, you can highlight source and click on the top left corner to see all of your music source options. Come down to presets and you'll have your preset list on the right hand side. Anytime you want to save a new item to the preset list, just tune to that item. So either use the tuner dial on the right hand side or use voice command. Tune to 99.1.
99.1 FM.
Once the station is playing, select the position on the preset list and push and hold on your touchpad to save. We could do the exact same thing with our tuner dial. Just turn that tuner dial until you get the station that you want. Pick your spot, push and hold to save. Let's take a look at radio replay. This is like DVR for your radio. You can cache or save your radio. Radio replay is accessible to HD radio stations, and you get even more out of it with satellite stations. Satellite stations have the capability of caching or saving up to 60 minutes of audio. Once you pause, you can rewind, fast forward, or jump to live programming. The next item is your station list so that you can see all of the items in a particular genre. You can select options to do additional customization and sound to adjust your treble, mid-range, and bass. Just select and then slide your finger on the touchpad and click down when you have it where you want it. Or click on the plus or minus to make your change. You can also access the audio system with the right side screen. Just click on the music note and your sound system display will open on the right hand side. If you'd like to go back to full screen map, just click the bottom right corner to slide whatever item is on the left hand side all the way open. For example, if your sound system was open and then you chose to have a small map on the right, or maybe fuel economy information, or even climate control, if you'd like to go back to full screen audio, just click the full screen icon on the bottom right. Notice in the full screen view, you have an option to reorder the items in your source display. Let's say that your iPhone is going to be your #1 music selection. Highlight that item and then arrow left or right until it's in the position that you prefer. And you'll push the Go Back button to save. When you see your screen, you'll notice that the item that you have moved is in its new position. To come back to map, just simply push the map button. Your destination and map search controls are all on the left-hand side. You can change the view of your map by clicking on the compass on the top left corner. You have a 3D mode, a north-up mode, where no matter which direction your vehicle is facing, the top of the map will always be north. And a direction up mode. The direction you're facing will always be at the top of the screen. Come down to the search pin. Click to make your selections. You can click to search by point of interest or address. Just start typing and suggestions will be made on the right-hand side, similar to what you would see on your smartphone. You can also click on the microphone icon to launch voice command. You can launch a destination search from any screen at any time using the onboard voice command system. Just give a push, release, and wait for the beep. Get directions to Starbucks.
Showing results for Starbucks. Select the one you want. Say next page for more items.
Make your selection.
To navigate to this point of interest, say go there.
Go there.
Starting guidance for a new route.
And you're on your way. Highlight and click OK in the bottom right-hand corner or start to
Please
drive.
proceed to the highlighted route, then the route guidance will start.
To cancel your trip, just click on the X in the bottom right corner and then click Yes. Another option for canceling a route is with voice command. Cancel route.
Route canceled.
Other popular voice command searches are to say, get directions to, and then speak the entire address, including the city and state. Make sure not to say the zip code. You can also program a shortcut close to home, and then say, go home. We always recommend that you program a location that's nearby instead of your exact house, just for safety reasons. You can save favorites. You can even use Destination Assist. You have a complimentary trial period for Destination Assist with your brand new Lexus NX. For a deeper dive into voice commands with your Lexus, make sure to check out this video. Recent searches, emergency search features, and contacts from a compatible smartphone. Address and point of interest. But keep in mind, address and point of interest are already located inside of search. Map information can be customized by adding or hiding point of interest icons, allowing speed limit information to appear on the map screen, to allow traffic information, like you see here. The lines with the arrowheads are the direction of traffic. Green, yellow, or red. Green, it's moving. Yellow, it's slow. Red, it's bumper to bumper. The large orange lines in the center indicate a major freeway. Route trace allows you to leave little dots all along your path. That item is good if you're driving in an area that isn't mapped well and you'd like to follow your path out. Then you have map data information. You can zoom in or out by clicking on the plus or minus to adjust your view. You can also zoom in or out by pinching and pulling your fingertips right on the touchpad. Most people like to stay in a range of about 300 to 700 feet, which represents having a camera 300 to 700 feet above your vehicle, and then this would roughly be your view. So another way to access your search features is by pushing the menu button down by your touchpad, and then you'll see that same destination pin on the left-hand side. You've got some key action items just above that are like a sub menu. So if I clicked on destination, I'm going to open up that same destination search menu. However, if I push menu and just slide my finger along the touchpad, I can see additional menu items that I can shortcut to. Search, go home, recent, favorite, contacts. Those were all items that we had before, but we can get there with fewer steps. Same with our audio controls. We can control the selection with these soft button shortcuts. Phone, once we have a phone paired, we have access to all of our contacts, our call history, our favorites, you name it. Taking a look at apps. A lot of updates have been made to the Lexus app. In fact, now it contains all of the functionality of the Lexus Enform app suite. So you might still see verbiage about Enform app suite, even though you don't have to have this independent app on your smartphone any longer. All you need is the Lexus app. If your vehicle prompts you for an update, go ahead and click to update. You can either download with the screen open or choose download in background. If you are downloading in the background, that's going to allow you to use the multimedia system while you're doing the download. If you'd like to see the progress, just click. Your next step will be to install. This lets you know that you're not able to use the apps while you're installing. Just click continue. The install is very quick. Once it's complete, click OK. This screen is just a reminder that you do have a Wi-Fi trial available for this vehicle. The 2021 Lexus NX uses AT&T for the Wi-Fi services. Once you have a phone paired to the system through Bluetooth, when you highlight apps in the main menu, now you'll see infotainment and communication items available. Select to open. If we come to infotainment, you'll see compatible apps on the screen. Lexus plus Alexa is a feature that is available if you have an Alexa account. You don't have to have a paid Prime account, but you do have to have the Lexus plus Alexa app on your phone, the Lexus app on your phone, and you need to be logged in to both. You also need to sync your Lexus account with your Lexus plus Alexa account. Just follow the prompts when you sign in. Coming back to our main menu, projection is where you would connect to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, depending on your phone capabilities. When you open your menu, if you don't see Apple CarPlay and you see the word projection, it just means you need to plug in your iPhone through the correct USB port and then launch Apple CarPlay. Go to projection settings for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You want to make sure that the feature you're using is turned on. Moving to the information screen, this is a really great item to know about. You do have trip and fuel economy information. You also have a traffic incident list. And the most popular item, weather. Current forecast, a 3-day forecast that you can select a day and click deeper into, a breakdown over the next 6 hours, 12 hours, different locations that you've previously checked, national locations, and a Doppler weather map. Just push the Go Back button to move back to your previous screen. Vehicle alert history would be related to service items. The e-owner's manual is another great place to explore all about your NX. You can watch videos, do a visual search, where you can explore the exterior or interior just by highlighting different areas, clicking to get more information. You can also do a keyword search or search by table of contents. Back to our menu for our final two items. Let's skip setup for just a moment and discuss climate control. Our soft button shortcuts are for accessing the front screen or options. You'll notice on the left-hand side, we have the exact same soft buttons. So if we make an adjustment to the fan or the temperature, we can see everything reflected on the screen. If you slide your finger on the touchpad, you can even highlight and click through commands for that item. At the bottom of the screen, you'll notice a double chevron icon that says Settings. That is for an additional menu. You get to it by pushing the Settings menu button, also with the double chevron icon. So if we give that a push, you'll see these other items open up. Again, another auto control off, air conditioning compressor, dual, and Eco Heat and Cool. Eco Heat and Cool allows the system to cycle off of the AC compressor more frequently to maximize fuel economy. Now let's talk about setup. All right, I promised we would come back to setup. And here we are. There's a lot going on in here, so I'll move through quickly, and if you want a deeper dive, make sure to let us know. The primary thing that people come to set up for is to change their clock for daylight saving time. And on this vehicle, you don't have to because you have auto adjust for daylight saving. But you do need to know that you can turn that on and off. You also can turn on or off auto adjust for your time zone. You can choose the language. You can change the display. Another big tip is to go to projection settings for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You want to make sure that the feature you're using is turned on. Bluetooth is where we add a Bluetooth phone to the system. Click yes that you would like to pair a phone, and then start operating the Bluetooth menu on your cell phone. Select Settings, open Bluetooth, and then select the name Lexus NX and follow the prompts. Make sure to check out the video for how to pair a smartphone to your NX. You have additional audio customizations. Once you have a phone paired to the system, you have additional phone customizations. Come down to voice. You can adjust the volume for the overall sound coming from navigation as well as voice command. Click the plus or the minus, or select and swipe up or down and click to confirm. Select Vehicle and Vehicle Customization to change door lock settings. Come to Select Doors to Unlock if you would prefer the Smart Access system to unlock all doors when you touch the driver's door handle, or keep it unlocking driver's door only. Push the Go Back button to make additional customizations to climate settings, lighting settings, and even the driver's easy exit and the power back door height adjustment. Driver's Easy Exit is the feature that allows the seat to slide and the steering wheel to tuck up and away when you turn the vehicle off. If you have trouble reaching the brake to apply the brake to start the vehicle, just change this setting to partial, and then the seat won't slide back quite so far. But if you're tall, keep it on full. Valet mode allows you to create a 4-digit code to lock out your screen. It's like setting up a lock for a safe in a hotel. You would enter the code to lock and then again to unlock. Additional customizations are for navigation. This is where you would program a shortcut near your home. Click Save Home, and then if you're parked at that location, click Current Location. Otherwise, enter an address. For the Wi-Fi that's available as a hotspot in your vehicle, Wi-Fi will come on this vehicle through AT&T, and you have a 4 gig or 3-month trial. Once you've surpassed either 3 months or 4 gigs, you do have to have an account through AT&T for a data plan for the hotspot in the vehicle. Coming down to Enform App Suite settings, keep in mind that now your Enform App Suite is located conveniently inside your Lexus app. This just lets you know that you can customize the data usage message to display once per drive or not at all. You can have it auto-detect the app on an iPhone. That's what we saw during the setup process. To connect in enhanced mode with a USB connected device. Traffic information is going to show up right on your map. And then data services. This is to allow the system to access your HD radio and the DCM on the vehicle for information and updates, or just the HD radio. And the HD radio and the DCM are going to give you a stronger signal and better response. Let's talk about the home screen on the non-navigation NX. This screen is customizable. Simply use the touchpad to move around on the screen. Select an item that you would like to go to full screen mode and click. Push the Go Back button or the Home button to restore your home screen. To customize your home screen, push Menu, come to Setup, Customize Home Screen. If you're using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, make sure to note that those features are not compatible with the Navi app tile link on the home screen. So go ahead and change your layout. Most people prefer the 2-tile layout, and they like to have climate and audio on their home screen. Just push the home button to see your new home screen. Click on an item for full screen mode. When you want to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, push the menu button and select your connected device, either Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, where it currently says projection. Well, thank you so much for visiting us at Westside and Northside Lexus here in the Lexus Virtual Classroom. Don't forget to subscribe and then hit that bell so that you can be notified when we release our next tech tip video. Thanks again for visiting, and we'll see you next time.